I now give the floor to the representative of Israel.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you to Assistant Secretary General Chiari for your briefing today. I would like to thank the United States, the UK, and France for calling this important session. Before I begin, I want to thank Eli Sharabi for his courage today. Eli, there are no words that can begin to describe the strength it takes to be here after everything you have endured. None of us can truly comprehend the pain, the suffering, the loss you have endured. The torment of 491 days in captivity, the terror of returning to a home that no longer exists, the weight of knowing that your entire world was taken from you. Yet, despite all of this, you sit here today, not for yourself, but for those who remain behind. For over 530 days, 59 innocent men, women, and children have been trapped in Hamas captivity. Many of them are barely holding on to life. Unfortunately, some of them have been murdered, and Hamas has not let the world see a single one of them. These are innocent people being tortured for the crime of being Israelis or being in Israel. They are starving in the dark, alone, afraid, suffering beyond what words can capture. They are denied food, water, and medicine. They are beaten, tortured, and humiliated. They are being held in conditions so inhuman, so depraved, that the hostages who were freed can barely describe what they endured. The cruelty here is not just from Hamas. It is also from the silence of the world. Eli Sharabi testified before you today and laid bare the horrors of his captivity. He described the torment he endured and spoke for the other hostages still in Hamas's hands. Now the question that demands an answer is this: where is the world? Where is your outrage? Where is the international outcry for their release? Where is the demand from every nation to bring them home? Since October 7th, you have passed 77 resolutions in this chamber. There has not been a single resolution condemning Hamas. Meanwhile, there are those in this chamber who refuse to even mention the hostages. Algeria, you have spent months in this room condemning, accusing, and criticizing Israel. But when a human being sits before you today, after enduring the worst of humanity at the hand of those you defend, you could barely acknowledge his presence. You couldn't find the decency to even say his name. That is outrageous. And the world can see it. For 530 days, you have erased the hostages. You have spoken about Gaza without mentioning the crimes of Hamas. You have debated humanitarian assistance without acknowledging the humanitarian crimes Hamas is deliberately inflicting on the hostages. You have had the audacity to talk about a ceasefire without demanding that those held in Hamas's terror tunnels be freed. How can you claim to stand for international law while ignoring the hostages? How can you speak of human rights when you refuse to recognize the most horrific human rights abuse in this war? How can you sit in this chamber, look Eli Sharabi in the eye, and say nothing? The massive amounts of humanitarian aid that Israel has facilitated, coordinated, and allowed into Gaza have reached every segment of the population except one: the hostages. While Gazan civilians benefit from food, medicine, shelter, and support, these innocent individuals languish in conditions that defy human comprehension. Those hostages have not seen an ounce of that aid. Think how many trucks, how many containers. We listen to you, Eli, that you got a quarter of a pita a day. There are so many on this council, you, who never fail to scream for more aid, more trucks, more shipments, more access, yet you have never once demanded that a single piece of that aid be delivered to our hostages. Not a single word has been spoken. Not a single demand has been made. Not a single resolution has been passed insisting that those in the most desperate need of humanitarian assistance actually receive it. The UN's inaction on the plight of the hostages is a moral collapse of the highest order. To be clear, it's not just this council that has failed. The entire UN system has forsaken its responsibility. So many agencies that claim to be the protectors of humanity have abandoned the hostages entirely. Where was the Security Council? The General Assembly? OCHA? UNICEF? The so-called Human Rights Council? The Red Cross? The Red Cross has not conducted one visit, one inspection. We heard the absurd equation you made about the detainees in Israel. They have 3 meals a day. They have medical treatment. They have visitations of the Red Cross. Before the war, they had visitations of families. How can you compare it? The Red Cross had no one inspection or spent one moment with the hostages in Gaza. And yet, for 530 days, the Red Cross has continued to act according to Hamas's playbook. Colleagues, there is one absolute certainty in this situation. The war will not end until the hostages are freed. Israel did not choose this war. Hamas did. It was Hamas that invaded Israel and Eli's home. It was Hamas that slaughtered our people, and for 3 months it was Hamas who stalled negotiations. Hamas was given the chance to extend the ceasefire. Hamas was given the opportunity to bring relief to the people of Gaza. Hamas was given a choice, and they chose war. Therefore, Israel has resumed its military operations against Hamas with increasing force. The IDF is striking Hamas terror targets throughout the Gaza Strip. Terrorist infrastructure, weapons stockpiles, and command centers are being dismantled. This will continue. This will continue until every last hostage is home. This war does not end with hostages left underground. This war does not end until Hamas is defeated. The choice is simple. If you want a ceasefire, then pressure Hamas to release the hostages immediately. Madam President, Eli Sharabi should not have to be here today. He should have never been taken. He should have never been starved, chained, and brutalized. He should have never lost his wife, his daughters, his brother. And yet, here he is, a survivor of the worst of humanity, asking the world to save those still trapped in that nightmare. I ask you to take a moment and reflect as we speak here today. There are 59 Eli Sharabis underground, desperate for freedom. Imagine their faces. Imagine their screams and their cries. Imagine what they would say to you today. Will you listen or will you look away? Because this moment will not be forgotten. There is no neutrality here. There is no middle ground. There is only right or wrong. We will never stop fighting for the hostages. We will never abandon them. We will never sit idly by as terrorists hold our people as trophies. We will bring them home. All of them. I thank you, Madam President.
Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and hit subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and inspired. This is Dejobnik signing off.